What's going on, guys? This is Kaishura. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. On this video we are going to cover OCG Metagame Report with decklist reviews. For the past week we do have July 19 to August 1. So a week-long span of tournament data and decklist gathering. So we are going to see which decks have top on pre-rota and post-rota. So without further ado, let's start. So we are going to browse tournament results from all over the sea or Southeast Asia, namely Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia, and also Thailand, and probably Vietnam. So without further ado, let's start. So we do have first Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming ranking tournament. First would be Tenpai Dragon from Clarky. So very standard Tenpai Dragon, no? Just opted to play one Regeki and one Lightning Storm onto the main deck of Tenpai Dragon. Very reasonable because the Philippines metagame is vastly different from the things that you are seeing on Japanese, Korean, Chinese metagame, where the meta is combusted towards the meta decks top tier 1, tier 2 decks. In the Philippines, there's a lot of rogue options and also budget decks and also control or floodgate meta beat decks. So yeah, very reasonable to put Regeki and Lightning Storm. Next would be Snake Eyes from Andrew Aguinaldo. So this time opted to play Bestials into the main deck. So very good inclusions to answer the Engraver and Luri into the graveyard for the Finsmith decks. Next would be Bogor Duelist community in Indonesia. First place would be Finsmith Fire King Snake Eyes. So yeah, pretty standard build. 41 card, quite extensive. Just played Droll and Veiler into the main deck as the hand trap options for this. And yeah, played Phantasmi, very good card, into the side deck. Ables you to draw off from the meta game right now, which is very saturated by link-based decks. Next would be Rescue A, Sinful Spoils, Finsmith. So yeah, played triple droplet now, very interesting. And main deck, the copy of Reinforce, which is very odd when you consider that you're not going to see Reinforce into the main deck on most deck lists, but yeah, it played Reinforce into the main deck. And next would be Voices Voice with Bestials. Wow, Bestials. Another way to improve your board and also add extra interruptions with the banishing effect of Bestial and also the Regained, which can improve your draw power as well. And yeah, next we do have, wow, Runic Ice Barrier. This is very TCG-esque. This is the deck that you usually see on TCG topping tournaments, no? So yeah, it reflected on OCG, but yeah, it is very interesting. I'm not really sure how this deck functions. Maybe you synchro off with the Ice Barrier and you deck out the opponent from the Runic and probably use it as extenders as well. Moving on, we do have Order, Dudulis, and Albay. First place would be Champion Ellie, our friend from Kaiduwilis, would be Unchained Finsmith. So play triple draw into the main deck. And yeah, still play the Fiendish Rhino Warrior. And next would be Drytron, wow, from Mish. So Drytron, yeah, this deck got supported recently from the previous sets and it's now looking better than before, no? Because the last time we have seen Drytron dominating was 2021. Imagine that, 3 year span of time have passed already. But now we are seeing a resurgence of Drytron. And next would be Sky Striker. Wow, another deck that is really old in a sense that it's been relevant since 2018, 2019-ish. Yeah, so it's really refreshing to see Sky Striker still tapping in 2024. And next would be Richard Salaman Great. So I cannot see clearly the deck list, but yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, moving on, we do have Dueling Nexus in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. First would be Saikai. This is a very good player and also a Konami representative and MC. So yeah, he played Snake Eyes. Yeah, Snake Eyes, Finsmith. Yeah, pretty standard. Just played evenly. Very interesting on the side deck. And next would be Fong. Yeah, Yubel Finsmith. Another standard list. I cannot really see too different here. I think the change of art is really insane against the mirror match and also Pankartaps, which is very good to out floodgates. Next would be Beng, Voiceless Voice, of course, with one Nibiru into the main deck and main deck na copy of Super Poly. Wow, interesting. And next we do have Boon Sheng with another Sky Striker. So this is the second Sky Striker. What are your thoughts, guys? Is it coincidence only that Sky Striker is kinda doing something this week, no? So this time with going second approach with the No Way Out, and also Droplet and Raigeki. Next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming Ranking Tournament. First place would be Snake Eyes, Sinful Spoils, Finsmith. So yeah, pretty standard. I think it's the same list as earlier, no? With Double Droll and Double Veiler and Bestial Package. Next would be Ancient Gear, wow, from Curl. Second place with one Tyrion and one Multichami Purulya into the main deck. So yeah, very interesting. Many people have claimed that this is Tenpai 2.0, and I cannot blame them and testify against them because this feels like the second deck of Tenpai Dragon. Pretty similar, no? Just OTK the opponent and just hope for massive damage output from this deck. Very destructive when going second. And next would be Scareclaw, Finsmith Jubel from Alfred. So he is the Scareclaw master in the Philippines. He definitely knows what he is doing and cooking with his deck with Jubel and Scareclaw. Wow, very feisty deck building here from Alfred. And fourth would be Tanpai Dragon. Yeah, pretty standard with Super Poly and Droplet into the main deck. Next would be Duelo Iloilo, ranking tournament or regular tournament. So first would be Centurion RDA. Wow, this is something new. So he or she opted to put the Centurion package with Emmet and Primera into the main deck and also Emblem Oath and the Field Spell. Wow, this is very interesting. So maybe it just wants to do something like Arcoela or easier access towards the Crimson Dragon, no? Very interesting. Next would be Duelo Iloilo, ranking tournament or regular tournament. First place would be Pendulum Magician Supreme King. So it's been the trend recently in OCG that the Pendulum Magician players are reverting back towards the old ways of playing the deck. They are now focusing on the Pendulum Magician and Supreme King cards rather than incorporating the Melodious engine, which definitely makes a lot of sense because you are trying to play a lot of bricks on that version, and probably you are losing more towards Droll and Nibiru. So yeah, I cannot blame them reverting back towards the old ways of playing Pen Magi. Next would be the tier list. So this is my tier list post Rota, and it definitely changed because this is 5 days ago. So stay updated for a new tier list this coming next week. Yeah, probably. Next would be Order to Duelist and Albay. So once again, champion Salaman Great. So with Parallel Exit into the main deck, one of Parallel, or I'm seeing things mistakenly. So I believe it has to exceed. Yeah, probably. It is very weird to see one exceed only. And next would be Steven, plant stuff, Rika, good stuff probably, with Ragnarayka and Tyrion into the main deck. I'm not really sure if it's 60. Yeah, I think it's 60. Yeah, probably. It is 60 card. Second, Tenpai Dragon. Very standard, yeah. Played Triple Bell into the main deck. I think I would agree with that one. Bell is really ridiculously strong towards the metagame. Pre-Rota. And even after Rota, I think it is still very impactful. And next would be Jorem, Supreme King, Pendulum Magician. So the decklist was on Master Duel, and I cannot fathom that he made the decklist just out of Master Duel. So it proves how skilled he is. He played the old variant of Pendulum Magician rather than the new version. And yeah, moving on, we do have Uni Aqua Habis Philippines, champion of the tournament. On their ranking tournament would be Tenpai Dragon. So yeah, pretty standard. Just play double Super Poly and double Droplet with one Feather Duster, which is very essential towards the metagame of Philippines, which has a lot of rogues and control decks. Next would be Dueling Nexus in Malaysia, and would be champion Beng once again with the Voices Voice. This time opted to play one Nibiru into the main deck. And next would be Fong, another top from Yubel. Yeah, Yubel. With one Baldrake, very essential towards the goal of Yubel. Of course, another interruption for the Baldrake on field and also banishing effect, which is very good against Luri and Engraver. Next would be Ji Kang. Uh, what is this? Branded? Yeah, branded 40 card? Probably. Yeah, 40 card. I don't see grass here. So yeah, 40 card branded. And next, Yap. with Rescue and Finsmith. Still main deck na copy of the HQ, no? Which is kinda unusual because probably you are going to lose on breaking when you draw this off, and most people are relegating this deck or this card into their side deck. So yeah, it is also inclusion. It has also the inclusion of Azamina, no? So we are seeing the tournament results August 2. We're seeing data from post Rota, and Azamina definitely impacted the format really really huge on so many levels already this early on, no? And next would be uh, in tournament in Osiris Duelis tournament in Indonesia. First place would be Fabian with Mementotlan. So yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, I think standard decklist. Next would be Tenpai Dragon from Adit. So it played the Red Reboot on the side deck, which can be really strong on the format right now, considering that most people are side decking 6, probably 6, going first cards with Judgment or something like anti-spell, summon limit, there can be only one, and Power Sink Stone. So yeah, probably Red Reboot is really strong here. And next with Salamangreat, yeah, pretty standard build. Triple Phantasmi, which is very good towards the Yubel and Rescue and Snake Eyes right now. And yeah, next would be Joe, Desu, Horus Stan, wow. So yeah, the good old Stan, no? This time with Horus and Border, the reliable Border, and just play the Horus to make something like Photon Lord or probably something like Galaxy Dragon or the Coach King. And moving on, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame Malang in Indonesia. First place would be Centurion. So this deck got supported recently, and this is very different. It played the Hieratic Seal and the New Fusion from VJump Magazine, the Magistus. And next would be runner-up, Supreme King. This time with Melodius. So yeah, you are risking the chance that you're going to lose on draw if you're playing Ostinato and other stuff here. And next would be third place, Altergeist Finsmith. Wow, very very interesting deck building here. Play the Blue Angel of Tears and roll back into the main deck. And Trickstar, yeah, Trickstar Incarnation. Wow, spicy. Very spicy from LX. Finsmith Altergeist. Next would be Rescue Ace. So without Finsmith, just the standard Rescue Ace with the Poplar and Witch. And moving on, we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Lamongan ranking tournament, weekly tournament. First place would be Aditya once again, Fire King Snake Eyes. So double Nibiru and triple Droll into the main deck. So those turnskeepers are really strong into the metagame of the format right now. And next would be Ritual Beast from Zezen. So played Ritual rather the Nemesis package into the deck, which enables you to access out the Protoss, which can lock out Fire, Dark, other stuff here on the metagame that could hurt. And yeah, I think it's really strong. And next would be Butuan Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. First place would be Zivest, Mikanko. So the old Jubel, no? I think this is very pesky to go against, considering that this is very versatile. Going first, you can control the match, and going second, it is more really frustrating because the Mikanko can easily OTK, and it is very odd to out the monsters of Mikanko. So it's really hard to counter. Next would be Raid Valmonica. So another interesting deck. This also got supported, and I'm not sure if it is playing the new support. Yeah, probably not. Or yes, I'm not really sure. Oh yes, it plays the new trap. So yeah, Valmonica rank 4 turbo deck, and probably you're going to sit on a rank 4 or your Omni Negate probably and hand trap the opponent to death like this. And it even played Dogwood into the main deck. And next would be Shan Mech Knight. Wow, Mech Knight with Crusadia. This feels very 2019, 2018-ish, no? Feels nostalgic. You really feel old when you're seeing decks like Mech Knight still tapping in 2024. And yeah, moving on. We do have Bandung Duelis Banlist in Indonesia. First place would be Trisna Infernoid Grass. So yeah, very disgusting deck. With rollback with Ghostmith's Girl, Droplet, Grass, Reasoning, Monster Gate, and even Sinful Spoils. Wow, very ridiculous. I think I have lost words to justify this deck. It is very strong on its own way. And next with the Voices Voice from Ginang. So yeah, standard play Dominus Purge into the main deck. It's been the most probable inclusion of a new hand trap in Voices Voice, opting to eradicate those Veilers and even Nibiru in replacement of this Dominus Purge. And next would be EV, Tenpai Finsmith. Wow, Tenpai Finsmith. Ridiculous. Yeah, it is absurd. So this Tenpai can probably go first or bait out the opponent using the Finsmith cards, considering that you could Finsmith first and bait out the opponent, no? Wow, really interesting from EV. Tenpai Finsmith. Next would be Ramli, Ritual Beast. So yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, cannot put stress too much on this build. With only 12 extra deck cards, I believe it has decklist error on the tournament, but he still managed to get fourth with only 12 extra deck cards. Next would be Duel Bacolod, Duel for a Cause tournament. So, Godspeed to them and shout outs to our Bacolod friends. First would be Tenpai Dragon, probably. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Tenpai Dragon. It plays a very odd fusion. Oh, it's Garura, I believe. Yeah, I thought it was a different fusion. And next would be Unchained, Live Twin, Finsmith. So basically Fiend Link, no? 42 card with 1 talent and double draw into the main deck. And next would be Centurion. Whitewoods, yeah. It played, yeah, Whitewood stuff here. And yeah, I believe it could definitely work considering that you are trying to capitalize on continuous spells as well. Continuous spell or trap, rather, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, really functional deck. And yeah, the second one was Gimmick Puppet, or third. Yeah, Gimmick Puppet. So with Foolish Burial into the main deck and 2 Veiler and 2 Droll. Next would be Gaia, Card Game Sanctuary in Indonesia. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, or Singapore. I'm not really sure. Next would be Raylam, Jubel, Finsmith. So yeah, played Baldrake as well into the main deck. Next would be Tan Bing Shen with Gimmick Puppet, another Gimmick Puppet on the block. Really interesting. And next would be Tenpai Dragon from Tekian King. So it played double Regeki into the main deck with 1 Feather Duster. And next would be Hanson Yo with Rescue Ace. And next would be uh, any member to release ranking weekly tournament. First place would be Stellar Knight from Danu. So the turn skip deck, yeah, its aim was to turn skip and capitalize on that and just win the game on the process. And next would be Labyrinth from Marvin. So it still played rollback and the Black Goat Loves. Yeah, it didn't adapt the new algebraic equation something trap card. I really cannot solve that card. And next would be Spiral Horse Millennium. Wow. So probably good stuff. Yeah, 60 card grass. With a bunch of going second cards into the main deck with triple trust, triple talent, triple droplet, and double lightning storm into the main deck. Wow, very spicy. And next would be ranking tournament in uh, Monopolis board game store. So Ewaldo. So this is the first seed, the person who got the first seed in the recent WCQ Asia Finals. I believe it's him, Ewaldo. I think he played Rescase or Jubel Finsmith, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, still play this Jubel Finsmith really strong into the metagame with 2 Saronir into the side deck. So he opted to play double Saronir instead of Diddy Crow or other stuff like Ghost Bell, no? So he really prioritizes the graveyard banishing effect because I have done it the same on my previous Tenpai Dragon build which played Saronir as well but only 1 copy. So yeah, Saronir, another copy of Magnamut, Druisworm, and Baldrake for you. Next would be Rafaeli, Whitewood Centurion with Toy Box engine, of course. Yeah, Toy Box, and a small branded Fusion extra deck inclusion here. And next would be Andre Cornia. So this is the top 4 or semi-finalists of the recent WCQ Asia Finals. So their locals from Monopoly's board game store is really stacked as hell because they have gotten two topping players from the previous WCQ Asia Finals with Ewaldo and Andre. Very competitive locals, but yeah, you could definitely see how the pros and really top players innovate and adapt their strategy towards the current metagame with this Andre Corna playing triple draw and no Cosmic Cyclone into the side deck with triple Nibiru and triple Phantasmi. So those are really targets for the best decks available, namely Yubel, of course, and Snake Eyes, and the mirror match of Rescue Ace. Next would be Abiyu, Putra, Yubel, Finsmith. So this time very standard. Played Triple Phantasm as well. Really prioritizes the link matchups into their local metagame scene. And yeah, moving on, we do have Kaido Willis Tabletop Community Rookie Cup 2024 side event. Semi-finalists from Bandayo JR, Madolche. So very interesting. I think Madolche is really overshadowed by other rogue decks right now, but I believe this deck is still strong on its own regard and probably, just probably, can hold off against the best decks. And next would be Centurion. Yeah, Centurion from JP Obaldo. Of course, Centurion with the new support from coming out from Rota. So it played the new synchro of Centurion and also the new main deck monster, which definitely makes a lot of sense considering that you want to have a toolbox type of effect or kit into your deck to manage your resources really well and also outmanage and outresource your opponent. So yeah, really interesting stuff here for Centurion. I think they have gotten strong at the very least with their new support. Next would be Eldritch from MJ Agura. Anthony Sukuna, yeah, finalist of that tournament. So he is one of the top players in Kaido Willis tabletop community and he wanted to join the rookie tournament in us and he is technically qualified for the rookie cup requirements and the only problem is he is too good for a rookie in his own level, so I decided to nerf him and I made him play 3 copies of structure deck tactical try of Eldritch only. So the deck list was consisted of 3 maximum of 3 copies of the Eldritch tactical try and he managed to still get a finalist finish or second place finish on the Rookie Cup tournament. So mad lad. Really insane showing of skills on the tournament. And the first place on the tournament would be none other than Chris Joshua Oriano with a watered down version of Chimera without the Finsmith. Just played Chimera with the Fright for engine and also the Illusionist package. And next would be Voices Voice, the champion of our Battle Frontier tournament in Kaidubli. So it is a month-long tournament which the players has a lot of games every week that refreshes every time. So they have a limited amount of games every week and they could play those games. And after the month of July, he managed to get 18-2 record. Imagine that, 18-2. My goodness, in a short span of month. So he played the same deck over all of those weeks with this Voices Voice from Jonathan Paracruz. So main deck na copy of one TC and only played one sa Oravis into the main deck. It played the Pendulum Grab, which is really essential considering that the metagame in Philippines is mostly Tenpai Dragon. No matter where you go in the Philippines, it's Tenpai Dragon is the most represented deck every time and everywhere in the Philippines. So yeah, the Pendulum Grab definitely single-handedly outwitted those Tenpai Dragon matchups on his Battle Frontier run, and he subsequently got the champion status of that tournament with 18-2 record. So yeah, that sums up our Uncrowned Kings local metagame report in Southeast Asian regions. So thank you for watching this video. If you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing into my YouTube channel. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep going and provide these contents for you guys. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.